Hey, how are you, everyone? Anyway, anyone just looking at the shirt, a good man's hard to find. Hopefully I can make this video interesting. Anyway, I thought I'll try to make a video on cameras I've used for my videos, just as a topic. I just try to think of a topic. So anyway, cameras I've used over time, whether it's on YouTube or Odyssey. I've used my own little mix of cameras over the last few years. So anyway, it's just my own little, can't exactly call it a review, it's just my own little thought on each camera that I've used so far. And that's regardless on what kind of device it is, whether it's ranging from a phone or whatever. So if I say when I use the phone, I'll just use the current one that I am using as of this video, and just the cameras I've used to say in the last, I'll say last 10 years at least. Anyway, so I'll get straight to the point. So what I'll do, I'll start with the phone first, the current phone that I have been using. Anyway, it's a, I'll just put it on the camera. It's a Samsung Galaxy F20, a Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. Anyway, I'll eventually get it right. Actually, I don't mind the video quality. I'll bring it more back in. So anyway, so the quality for the video is actually not too bad, I think. It's pretty sharp. It's HD video in stereo sound, which is pretty typical these days. So you can reach the 1080p HD in video. So, and even photo quality, I couldn't fault it. So yeah, as for this phone here, the features are sort of like with this phone here, sort of rattling off from the camera itself. Yeah, I've got wireless charge, and it's got USB-C connectivity, and the and it's got on the forward-facing camera, which I've barely used myself, so unless I needed to on certain occasions, with video calling with certain people. Anyway, with the rear cameras, you got 3 cameras that are here, which is more one's more for a close-up shot, one's more for sort of mid-range sort of shooting with its and the other one's more for distance. So with that one, all I can say is every time I'm filming with this camera, with this particular phone, I'm always using the trying to capture as much as I can. So I use pretty much only just one of the lenses, one of the cameras, which has got the so it's more zoomed all the way out, so you can see as much as you possibly can. So if you're like filming festivals as well, so you don't really want to go have just a certain section here and there. You want to try and film as much as you possibly can on that particular phone. So there'll be other model phones similar, and regardless of brand as well. And so yeah. Anyway, so I'll just sort of move on to the next video. Next camera, which is the I'm using the webcam on the computer. So yeah. Anyway, so it's the Gopro, I think it's the Hero 9. Anyway, I've used it on a few occasions. I sort of like this one here. You got going back to the phone part, you can connect it to your phone or tablet or whatever for remote to remotely control the camera itself. So so if you're doing like a lot of selfies or whatever, and you want to put the camera to, in a certain position, and you can go back and join the crowd, or yeah, whatever. So it sort of works across the board, whether it's photo or video, whatever. So yeah, I think I can't remember the actual video quality. I think it's up to 4K from memory. Probably don't quote me on that one. So definitely 1080p for sure. Yeah. So, and yeah, photo quality is okay once you get the right settings turned on. There's with photo, I've noticed with this one in particular, it's with one of the settings which I'm not a huge fan of. It sort of curves the image a little bit, but you can actually set it to straighten it up a little bit, so right out of the box. But I haven't really played around with the photo side of it too much. I just go and film, done. So when I actually have used it on occasion, which is very rare that I have used it. But the other good thing about this one here is the actual handle itself. So you can sort of extend it out, so you can, it's more of a, acts as a selfie stick. So, and also doubles as a tripod as well, so it stands up, and yeah, so I thought you can actually just shrink it down, so shrinks it down like so, and folds in, done. And also you can sort of angle it to where you want it as well on the tripod. So I'll just put this one here down. So we'll move on to the next one. So anyway, I haven't got a hell of a lot of information on this one as and what my deep thoughts on it are just yet. So once I play around with it a lot more, then I can get a more of a true opinion on the actual GoPro itself, since I barely use it. But yeah, the good thing, actually one thing I should say is the other good thing is it does have its Bluetooth connectivity to the phone, and once it pairs with the phone and all that sort of stuff, it also uses Wi-Fi to the phone as well for higher data transfer. And what I mean by that is, anyway, with Bluetooth, it can only handle so much data in speed. That's where the Wi-Fi kicks in, and all that sort of stuff. So it uses that to for higher data transfer for when you're controlling the video or photo, or even downloading or uploading to the GoPro itself. So that's a bit of a handy feature for that one. Anyway, and it's got a rear facing yeah, I'll just pick it up. So anyway, it's got a rear facing screen as well as a front facing screen there. But the with the GoPro itself, so the connectivity to connect the device via cable and all that sort of stuff, it's anyway, I'll just try to open it. Let's work out the side it's on. To access the battery and its connection port, which is also like the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. It also uses a USB-C, which is, I'm not sure how well you can see it, which is right at the very bottom, and also the battery, so which can also come out once it, which has got a little tab to pull it out. So, and just pulls out like so. So anyway, so that's part of the way out. So anyway, it clips in, put on the door for it. So anyway, that's done. Anyway, so I'll move on to another camera I have used for several videos, which I have mainly done it on YouTube in my earlier times, and it's sort of sat around lately semi-retired, which is the Fujifilm which I've got to read at the bottom because I always keep forgetting the model number, which is the Fujifilm JX370 camera, which is this one here. Anyway, I've sort of got a missing little cover thing around the lens there, but hasn't missed a beat, so not complaining. And pretty basic camera, and it just uses the similar kind of battery as the GoPro, but one more design for the actual camera itself. And as for like the GoPro, actually the GoPro, it uses the micro SD, I'm pretty sure, so it's been a while since I looked at the memory card. But anyway, so as for this particular camera, I'll hold it properly. It uses just the regular SD card, so the full size one. So you can use micro SD cards in this camera, but you have to use the actual SD card adapter for it. It's pretty basic in features. It's still for a, I'd say about a 10-11-year-old camera. It's got HD. You can shoot HD videos on there. But with the sound, it's recording in mono sound, so meaning only one microphone on the actual camera rather than having two. So, and as for it's got digital zoom is what I've set up on it, and it's only just got a rear facing camera, so it's pretty basic, as I keep mentioning, and it does not have Bluetooth at all because it hasn't been implemented in this line of camera. And it's what I think is good about this particular camera here is it's compact design. You can actually slip it in your pocket when you need it, and then you can get it out when you need it. And as for photo quality, which I have used it for just general photography and all that sort of stuff, nothing special. Picture quality is not too bad. It's good, and so yeah, just can't fault it too much other than its age. So but yeah, all I have to do is just get another battery, and probably good for another 10 years. So, but yeah, so which I won't fire up the camera now. The battery's okay on it. Probably lasts about. The battery's a bit on the nose. It's probably good for about 20 minutes worth of use, and then it's complaining to want to recharge. But other than that, can't fault it. So when you go to charge the camera, it's actually relatively straightforward. It's got the little, I'll just bring the camera right where my thumb is, between my two fingers, right there is where the charging is. Where you connect the cable at the very bottom, and it doubles as a you can, once you connect the cable to a USB charger, it'll charge the battery while it's in the camera, which is, I think, pretty good. So it's taking out the battery, putting it into a separate charger, and yeah, and pretty much where my finger is here, you can actually connect it to your common tripods, and yeah, so you can be more stationary, and if you're doing more, say, video work, that'll be probably handy, so you can actually yeah, keep it more on the still side, so rather than carrying around and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, then I'll move to the next camera, which is actually, and I think I forgot to say, yeah, so this one, as I said at the start of when I got the camera out, is a JX370 fujifilm camera. So, and it actually, as cheap as this camera was when I got it, it has been pretty reliable. So Anyway, so I'll put this camera aside. Anyway, going on to the next Fujifilm camera, which is a digital SLR camera, and this one is a the Finepix S1600 digital SLR camera, and I've had a similar time frame as the last camera, probably about roughly 10 years or something like that. I'll just say loosely 10 years, and I have used it on many of my videos on both YouTube and Odyssey. And a few of the things I like about this one here, actually I'll start with the recording side. So if you're recording videos, you can still record videos up to 1080p, and like the other Fujifilm camera, it's only got a rear facing display, so no touchscreen or Bluetooth or anything like that like the other camera has been implemented on this camera, being off the timer when it was released. And so when you want to force the flash and all that sort of stuff to go, which since I've had this camera, I've barely used the flash for photo taking. So to activate the camera the flash, it's pretty much a manual thing, so you can just push a button and it flicks up. So, and you've got the little wheel here to flick it through the modes that you want to use it on, and it's relatively straightforward buttons and to navigate around and change the effect of the photo you want to take and all that sort of stuff. And like the other Fujifilm camera that I've got, this one here also uses the SD card as well. So if you want to use like the other one, if you want to use the micro SD card, you're going to get the adapter for the full size SD. And yeah, like the other Fujifilm camera, this one has not missed a beat at all. So, and when it comes to batteries, batteries and all that sort of stuff, four AA batteries, that's all it needs. And photo quality, can't really fault it at all. So yeah, and video quality, as I mentioned, it goes up to 1080p. You can also, like the other camera, which I didn't mention, you can set a lower video setting, so you can fit more onto the memory card, but at a lower quality, with the compromise of the lower picture quality. But yeah, anyway, so 1080p is the maximum you can go on this particular camera right here. So, and the other thing I like about this camera here, it's actually relatively comfortable to use and all that sort of stuff. So so when I use it, so when I plug it into the computer, it doesn't matter if you actually, when it comes to software on your computer, it doesn't matter if you're running Windows, Mac, or a distribution of Linux itself. So you just plug it in, away you go. That's another thing that I like about this camera. So I don't think this camera is going away anytime soon, until it basically just gives up. So I think I will keep using this one for a little while. So, and the other thing when recording video, it also, with the sound side of things, it isn't recording in stereo, so it's actually recording in mono like the other Fujifilm, which is probably which I can't really complain too much anyway. So if you're doing a lot of blogging and all that sort of stuff, when it comes to, I think if you're doing a lot of blogging and all that sort of stuff, it's not a huge deal, I think, if you're recording either in mono or stereo. So it's no, unless you want the full, probably, yeah, it probably depends on the person. So, but for what I need, for pretty much for what I need it for, it's pretty well fine. So, and as for the zoom, zooming in, you can either do digital zoom or optical zoom. So I'd use a bit of both when, yeah, use a bit of both when possible. But the negative part of that is when you're filming, you can sort of hear certain sounds come through the video when you're doing the optical zoom. So sometimes I'll try to restrict the optical zoom for digital zoom instead, as much as I can, or try to avoid it altogether as much as I can. But other than that, it hasn't, as I mentioned, it has never missed a beat, and as I said, I don't think I'll be retiring this camera anytime soon until it decides to give up. So, yeah. So anyway, it's a pretty much for its time, like, and as I haven't mentioned with this camera, it is a 14 megapixel camera, and it was released, I'll say released loosely, I can't exactly remember until I look at the documentation. Unless if someone, or if you feel like doing the research yourself, quicker, if you go Fujifilm JX370, and you can actually get the year it originally came out. So it 14 megapixels for a little camera like that one there, it's, can't say no more for the time when it was released. And the same with this one here, like for the time it was released, 12 megapixel digital SLR camera for a Fujifilm S1600 camera. So time when it was released, I can't really complain too much. It served its purpose, so didn't spend a lot on this for this particular camera. And like the other camera, it uses the same type of connector down the bottom, and pretty much right where my hand is, or this finger here, it's pretty much where the battery cell sits. And yeah, and as for the middle mounting point for, you can actually just put the most common tripods on it, so for extra stability for whether you're shooting film or photos. So, and getting on to the last camera that I have upgraded just recently, so I'll just put this one here as the Fujifilm aside, which is the Nikon D 5600, which I just got recently, which was only just a good several months back now. And I had a little bit of an issue, which is not the camera, or an issue with when I got the camera, which is nothing to do with the camera itself, but when I actually did get it, was the experience of when I got the camera, which is a bit of a mixed experience. But anyway, if the person is watching this video that served me on the day, anyway, you did a good job, so no complaints there. But anyway, so here's the camera in particular. So anyway, I'm still learning the camera. So anyway, from what I've used of the camera so far, the photo quality is what I think is excellent, and video quality, I haven't really played around with it too much, but I have actually used it, tried it out on making with a video once before. So anyway, so yeah, I've only used it on one video at this point, so I've got to yet to play with it more to not literally play, but more use it a lot more for video work. So because at the moment I'm still tending to use the phone a little bit with certain things because it's always constantly on me. So anyway, so as for the zoom, actually I quite like the unlike the the first Fujifilm camera that I got, anyway, I'll just get this one out. So unlike this one here, they can use more the digital zoom. I think there is a bit of optical zoom there, I can't remember, so it's been a while since I have used it. So drop a comment down below if you have a similar camera, or a camera like this one here, a similar model or the exact same model. You can just double check with me. Anyway, and this one here, the GoPro just uses digital zoom. So and yeah, anyway, so I'll get back to the GoPro after on another little bit. So with this one here, is also using the more so optical zoom. So and the good thing about when you're zooming in and out, how the lens is just moving itself there. Anyway, so I'll just put it back in, otherwise just to make it a bit easy to handle. Yeah, so it's got optical zoom, and I can't remember the megapixels from memory. It's the yeah, so I just have to quickly read it. So which I have got, I think it's 24 megapixels from memory. It's might be down the bottom here. So anyway, I'll just say, yeah, it's roughly 24 megapixels, so it's double than the other SLR camera. And the other thing I like from what I have tried with this camera itself in photo mode, there's the just right where the lens is, you can sort of focus the lens a little bit more if you needed to for photos and same with videos, but you can also focus it with when you're taking the photo. So there's like pretty much most modern cameras these days, it has a two-stage button for when you take the photo. So if you push it halfway in, it focuses it for you automatically, and if you push it all the way, then obviously it takes the photo. And so with this one here, unlike the other two Fujifilm cameras, it's got to do filming, it's got a separate record button. It's pretty much just above my finger here. And like the other other SLR camera, I've got the little wheel there to select the mode that I want, and yeah, and yeah, pretty well standard controls for the back. And as for the screen itself, it is touch screen. And also, thing I like about this one, so if you are doing selfie mode, you can bring it around so you can actually, I'll just get this figured out of the way, so you can sort of bring it around so you can actually sort of see the screen at the same time. So it sort of does help in selfie mode as well. And it also pivots, so which does actually help. And pretty much most newer cameras, say roughly from this era or around this era when it was first released, you can also put your it's got the little mounting bracket there, so you can put the like an actual light, so you can actually do nighttime filming and a microphone and all that sort of stuff, which I haven't got those accessories, which I'm probably not intending to get a microphone just yet. So, and as for lighting, I probably will need to use the camera a lot more during the day, so that way I can get a good handle on the camera, so which is pretty straightforward otherwise. I haven't had any real reason to do nighttime filming, so I haven't really gone down that route to get the lighting for it. So pretty much like the other two Fujifilms, I can actually use the same tripod using the exact same which I'll move this out of the way, mounting point. So 3 cameras can use this exact same tripod that I have been using for the last off and on for the last 5 or 6 years. So and the other good thing about this camera, like the GoPro, it has USB connectivity. So I can actually connect this camera, the Nikon D 5600, straight to the phone. So you can actually control it through there, download all your footage, whether it's the video or photo, straight to your phone while you're on the run. So that's another little good feature I'm actually quite happy with. So so if I'm halfway across the world, or I'm halfway across the country, if you know what I mean, or then I can just download straight to the phone, upload it to what I'm using at the time, whether it's to say YouTube, or if it's video work, I can go YouTube, Odyssey, whatever. And if it's photos and all that sort of stuff, I can just store it straight away. So anyways, it's going on, the video is going longer than I have anticipated. So yeah, actually I was going to say something about the GoPro as well. So anyway, I'll leave the GoPro alone for now. So so the video is not intending to say go out and buy these cameras, or the goods and the bads and all that sort of stuff. Everyone has their own experience with their own equipment and all that sort of stuff, what works well for them and all that sort of stuff. So yes, so anyway, actually I'll say one last thing for the Samsung phone that I've got, which is pretty common through different Android based phones, is the actual, as most people say, it would be the charging port that's down the bottom, which is the USB-C connector. If you get the right adapters and all that sort of stuff, or depending on the device you're actually using, you can connect a USB stick to it for added storage. So you can download, upload straight to the memory stick. So you can actually save on storage on your phone, which is also pretty handy for these particular phones. So anyway, I'll probably wrap it up there. So so probably more in the future. Actually, there is one other thing as well. I think I have, when I've done a couple of previous videos, I have actually got this camera out in front of the in shot. So that's one thing with that one. So anyway, one thing for me to do is to start using this one here a lot more. So at the moment I'm just using this one as mainly photography at this stage. So so yeah, probably the only recommendation that I probably would say when it comes to cameras, if you you sort of got to work out what you want to do with the camera. So if you want to do a mixture of both filming and photography, so if you're doing, say, general photography and you don't really just for say around parties, or for example like that, you don't really want to go too crazily expensive. Probably the GoPro is probably reasonable. So as I mentioned earlier, with its Bluetooth connectivity and plus the Wi-Fi to the phone and all that sort of stuff, so it's great for those certain type of shots, if you know what I mean. So, and plus, yeah, you can depending on the model you decide to get. There's always the older model, which is obviously the cheapest one, and the newest one's always going to be the more expensive one. But anyway, that's, you factor that out. You it can be reasonable, but a lot of people will stick to their phones for the most part. But if you want a more of an other dedicated camera other than the GoPro, and you don't want to go too crazy on expenses, I'm pretty certain you can still get these type of cameras around, or not exactly the Fujifilm, but similar in this sort of form factor. So you can, if I flip it up like that, then you can see the form factor like that is pretty slim. So so yeah, it still does a lot of things right out of the box. Well, I can't say a lot of things. A lot of basic things that you'll just need right out of the box, like just point and shoot, or not point and shoot, but just point and yeah. So yeah, just take the photo. So take the photo or video. So it just works straight out of the box. So yeah. Anyway, I'll wrap up the video now, and I'll throw some links down below if you want to support the channel in any way. But if you are on Odyssey and all that sort of stuff, if you are on Odyssey, and you can also support the channel through the LBC credit, which is the library credit. So yeah, you can, the other link as of this video, so I could have more links in the future to support the channel, but at this point it is at the moment I'm just using PayPal at this point until my channels pick up a bit more. So anyway, I'll drop some links down below, and if you want to support the channel, it's pretty much up to you. So I'll leave it there, and have a good one.